Ooh, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode series. Not quite sure yet. We're going to be trying a new format. We have a brand new recording device, and we have a brand new mini here, and it's going to be a little Prussian soldier. Its exact name, you could sue me. I don't quite remember off the top of my head. Not at 6 a.m. But we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this going. First sip of the day. So, we're gonna grab our little zero gauge here, and this is a proxy model. This is not something official. I went to go get something official from the local game shop, and man, they sure as hell didn't have any Trench Crusade anymore. I knew I had missed my opportunity, so I'm hoping that they get some more soon, because all they had was Prussian stuff, and y'all know me. As somebody with some German heritage, of course I want some Prussian stuff. That'd be amazing. But we're going to start with some gunmetal. We're going to do yellow for the jacket. Of course, as you can see, I already dry brushed everything onto here. Ooh, excuse me. So it shouldn't be too hard for us to do everything. I was just trying to save some time, but like I said when we started this, is we're going to be trying a new format, I guess, in a way. Instead of so many episodes, I want to see just how long we can record for. Try to cut this down to maybe 1 or 2 episodes. That would be interesting. I know I already did that. I did our original format with Lieutenant Titus. That's okay. Whew, man. Sorry, I literally just rolled out of bed, threw some contacts in, 15 minutes ago. It's hard to get going immediately like that. I haven't done that in a while. I usually take at minimum 30. Whew. I had time to put some contacts in, brush my teeth. That was about all she wrote. Grab one of my monster Javas. Now we're here. But I hope everybody's doing pretty well. I am recovering once again from being sick. This is getting on my nerves. This time it was not my children's fault, it was my wife's fault. She must have picked something up at work. Felt like sharing it. It was very nice of her. We share everything, so why not that? It's alright though. We survived. Kids have been hacking up a lung, of course, because now that everybody's getting over it, your body has to hack everything out. Woohoo! And even a game update for you. I'm not entirely sure how much I told you guys during Lieutenant Titus, but I am playing Final Fantasy IX. Still haven't jumped back to 8, and it's kind of whatever. Not that worried about it. But it's alright. This is our very first official Trench Crusade. I mean, I know it's not an official model and whatnot, but this is about as official as a proxy can get. I think this is a tank buster or something. Something's telling me that he's something like that. If I'm wrong, that's okay. That is totally okay. But this ought to be real freaking interesting here. So far, it's interesting. It's a very nicely printed model. I can't quite remember who I got this from. I knew I should have written that down last night while I was still coherent. Or at the least looked it up before I came up here, so that is on me. Very sorry, everybody. But I will do my best to tell you now. Thank you to this person for making such a beautiful model and allowing me to purchase this. If I remember correctly, they did not have any issues. They made it, shipped it pretty quickly. For those that are not sure when it comes to Etsy, I mean, dude, Etsy used to take a long time. And it just doesn't anymore, especially if they already have the product ready. And that thing is shipped in a couple days. I mean, hell, today I'm going to have to go to the post office and ship something. Somebody bought my my Chaos. What is it? A Warp Smith. They bought my Warp Smith, so we will be going and shipping that out today. I could have shipped it out yesterday, and that was the plan, but our plans ran a little wonky and a little late. So I wasn't able to send it off yesterday, but I will be sending it off today. What is today? Today's Thursday. Okay. Whew. Like I said, I'm trying to wake up here. Trying to wake up. So our plan for this model is to, as you can see, I'm leaving certain things blank. So the two eyes are going to be with the true copper. Same with that skull. This breastplate, or I just can't think of the words, man. This plate on his chest, that is going to be left for the copper, the hilt of the sword, and everything. The chainmail there, I'm going to hit with a different metal, hoping that it pops out better for you guys. Let's see. I'm going to get that paint off there so it doesn't clog. All right. But my other plan today is to stupidly give in to my urges and go get some cards for a certain new card game. I'm assuming that it's new. I had only started seeing it the past couple months. So there is a Final Fantasy trading card game. And according to the video that I was watching of how to play, it is designed to be a deck builder, so that is cool. 50 card deck. Apparently each deck deals with 2 elements. So you have like something like I think the Zac Fair deck is fire and water. Not exactly sure. I think Cloud has lightning and something else. So yeah, going to be caving in. Going to be caving in, my friends. Oh, I forgot to grab a. Nah, it's okay. We'll be alright. Still trying to decide what color the ground should be, and I think what we're going to go with is possibly Armageddon dust. I think that'll work just fine for us. But let's go ahead and, you know what? This is tempting. I've got this, but I think I'm going to go with the other yellow. So I've got a Nasdrag, I think is how you pronounce that. A Nasdrag yellow. This is a brand new paint for me. I did try it ever so slightly, and I mean ever so slightly on a disintegrator pistol. How it has the wiring wrapped around it and all that. For a Space Marine, that was about all I ever did for it. And yeah, it comes out really dark. And my plan was to use that and then to highlight with demonic yellow and maybe a touch of moon dust. But at the moment, we're going to play it safe, and we're going to come back with this. Because the Prussians sure do like using that godly yellow. I was about to say a royal yellow. I was like, I don't know. I don't think I'd be wrong in calling it a royal yellow. I don't think I'd be wrong there. Because to me, the German flag has a very clear color base to it. So, of course, black, red, and yellow, right? So, to me, it's not just those colors. It's a very purposeful red. You know, it's not a scarlet. You know, it's not like that scarlet candy ass red. You know, you're not going to be able to call it maroon, of course, or crimson. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a colorsmith, guys. And we're going to. I want to say, yeah, we were going to leave the headdress. Yeah. I was expecting to paint more. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I was like, wait a minute. What am I doing? Yeah, I can hit the underside of that, and that's about it. Not too much color to these. I've noticed Trench Crusade does not have a huge color palette, and that is completely fine because if you look at World War One colored pictures, there's not a whole lot going on there. But you know, war is not something that I would see having a crap ton of color in. I'm sure that was very different at certain stages of our history. I mean, hell, you don't have to look too far back in history and you could see the redcoats. Which I still think was the weirdest thing. But hey, everybody had a uniform, everybody had a color, right? We have to know who we are on the battlefield. Let's get this true copper going. I like true copper, dude. I don't know about y'all. I love it. True copper and true brass, they're very fun to work with. You get some very distinct looks to certain things. Some straps there that I didn't notice before, so I'm going to try to pick out just the metal so that we can get it. Because I do have a contrast paint, snakebite leather, that you saw me use for what's his face, Titus. So we're going to be doing that. I wanted to put an eagle on that chest, man, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to have to look, and I don't think I have any white Raven Guard logos, which is upsetting. It is upsetting because that would have been a nice Like, we all know that would have been Raven Guard, but it also really would have looked cool. At least in my opinion, I think it would have looked really cool. I think it would have fit for the. I think it could have passed, for the German Eagle. I'm not sure if it would have passed, and maybe I would have been like, "Oh, damn, that didn't work." But that's part of the point of painting, is trying new things and seeing what works and what doesn't. That is the whole point. This is a very nice print. So usually when it comes to anything that I get, one of the things that I really look out for are the print lines from the 3D printer. And this is the only spot that I really see where the 3D printer really picked up its lines. And guess what? It's hardly noticeable. This is an excellent model. Try to let the bronze pick up on the word father, because they're fighting for the Deutschland, the fatherland. That does look really cool so far. I'm digging it, digging it, digging it. Let's find some plate mail. That's shining silver. I don't need that. Plate mail. There you are. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, we've kind of migrated from the really wet, uh, mucusy cough to now the dry cough. It still has some mucusy bits in it, and it hurts. It's like throwing wet gravel down your throat. It really hurts. But it's whatever, man. It's whatever. Get that. I left his fingers. For any that might have noticed that, I did leave his fingers. And you know what? I'm going to pick this out with the plate mail just to let the grenade show a lot better. All right. And it doesn't look like he has metal wrapped all the way around him under there. So that's why I've been leaving that. And we are now going to jump in there with, is that? No. Nope. Skeleton Horde. Oh, that was Snakebite. So we have our Snakebite leather. 18 minutes, not bad. See, this is what happens when you dry brush everything before this. But I mean, you can see that there's not too much to the model here. It's quite simplistic, and I can very much appreciate that. But this Snakebite leather has been a very fun paint to do and work with. It's one of the things I really wanted when I was shifting over to a slap chop approach. Was I wanted things to. I wanted to find a nice contrast paint that would really work for me, and I like this Snakebite leather. I might look for other browns, but at the moment, I don't think I need to really look all that hard. I think we're doing okay. We might have found something that really works. There's no harm in looking around, though. You know. There we go. There we go. I like it. I dig it. It's nice. So now let's hit the pants. Very dark against that black. I'm going to try to leave his little dagger hilt. I'm going to try to leave that dry brushed as black and white, because there's really no point to touching that one. I think we could just leave that alone. All right. We're chilling today, man. We've got what do we have? Some Final Fantasy VII lo-fi going on. Because why not? You know, we're still kind of in the lo-fi kick, or we're still in the Final Fantasy kick. So we just might as well just keep it going. All right. And that ain't looking too bad. Now all we got to do is decide what color we really were going to go with when it came to the ground. I want to say, like we were talking about, we could go with this or we could go with the red. I think Armageddon Dust will suit us just fine. I don't want to go with like a fantasy color. Let me get out the right brush here. And by fantasy color, I mean I've totally colored the rocks blue before. Now we could go with something uh, like Martian iron crust, which is the same consistency as the Armageddon dust, but with the crackling effect of iron earth. I mean of the Martian stuff. So yeah, we have the Martian iron earth and the iron crust. Like I said, this has the consistency of this. This will do more of just the crackling, so you get like a nice arid base with a red tint, which probably would look pretty good. But we can get this Armageddon dust fairly dark, especially when we use our Reichland shade, our flesh shade. That will darken things up quite a lot. And part of the thing that I always try to remember to be careful with those is the fact that they can really change everything about your model. So you'll go with a certain tone, and then you're like, you know what? I'm going to use a brown wash, and I'm going to darken that crap up. And you realize you just changed the whole tone of your model, and you maybe it was in a direction that you didn't necessarily want to go in. So that's something that I always try to warn people against. You know, try things, but be wary, my friends. You just might find yourself in the wrong direction. But that's okay. Like immediately, I think that's why I started to stutter here and hiccup on my words. Was as I was talking about finding yourself in the wrong direction, I was like, Armageddon Dust might have been in the wrong direction. But it's too late for any of that. So we are going to have to take our own advice, examine what we've got, and we're going to have to move from there. So, like I said, the Reichland shade should darken this up quite a lot for us, and then we can go right back over and hit it with highlights, because this is a base design of my own. So we'll see. We'll see. So I'll probably have to give this base some time to dry so that I can properly hit it with everything else. Part of me doesn't even want to leave the headpiece. Part of me doesn't want to do that. Part of me really wants to hit it with the yellow, but I think that it might just be a little bit too much. And when it comes to these things, you don't want to do too much. You really don't. Now I could go back over it with, say, Black Templar, right? Because that's a thinner black contrast paint. And that just might work. It might achieve what I want. It would darken it up just a little bit. But that's okay. I don't need it to. Like I said, you don't want to overdo it with certain things. You really want to be careful. Where are you? Oak brown. We're going to get out our oak brown. We do not use oak very often on the channel. You're stuck. Let's get some toothpick assistance. These things are also... This oak brown is the original one that I used. Come on. So it's running a little... It's running a little low here. And we're trying. But I also have to be careful that we don't try too hard, because if I... Yeah, there we go. And too much. What a waste. That's okay. We'll be okay. I don't like wasting things like that. I really, really don't. Because all of that, just for this little shaft here. Little stick of wood. It's whatever, man. It's whatever. Because we can, and we will, go right back over it with, say, some barbarian flesh, just to give it a little highlight. And usually for the highlights of, say, the leather and the Armageddon dust, is a Creed khaki works very well. It is a layer paint, so it's not designed for you to be putting coats on. It's more to be, in my opinion, and in my experience, it's more to be dry brushed onto things. But let's break out some transfers and look at what we're working with here, and we can all better decide on what to use. What do you say? And by the way, for those that didn't see on my social media, I did get myself a Blood Bowl figure. Griff Oberwald? I believe that's how you pronounce that name. I wanted something special when it came to Blood Bowl, because I'm a fan. I'm a little bit of a fan. Oh, go figure. I found white. Maybe I'm going crazy. Was it really black that I was looking for? Because that's not going to show up that well. This is the Chaos Pack. I don't need the Chaos Pack. This is dumb. So yeah, for my Chaos Pack, I have just a crap ton of transfers, and I try to keep all the Chaos stuff together. I try to keep the Imperium together. That little birdie will probably work, and he's white, so that'll show up pretty well against the true copper. You always want to find something that will pop in contrast to it. Is you want to show it off. I believe this will work just fine. And it has been long enough from when we painted. Yeah. From when we painted that true copper that we could use this. We could do it. I'm such a junkie when it comes to these. I want to put more and more and more, and I don't need to do that. You don't need to do it. You need to find control. But let me get what is it? Paper towels. Good Lord. Rip this in half, because we ain't got much to work with here. That'll be fine. Alright, we just need a little bit here. Just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and get this stuff ready. My 0. Let me get my other brushes, my transfer brushes ready. Bam, bam. Water and thinner. Got my microsol right here. Got my water cup. I hope this new microphone has been working. It didn't want to pick up on my older phone. Now that I've got a brand new phone, we'll see how this really plays out. Either way, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll fit. We're working at about 31 minutes here. So I hope this new format is working. And I know this is also going to be very misleading because it takes time to do these episodes. And I am going to have to pause and let these things dry so that I can go back over and do the next steps. And that is going to take time, and I will have to pause. So we'll see just how that goes. Let's see, what can you see on the screen? Okay, so you see some transfers over here that I had cut out and then I decided not to use. What you can't see right here is the fact that I have a Marine sitting here, and that's from one of those Mystery Marine boxes, the Warhammer Heroes line that they've been doing. And I tried to kit bash a little bit and it wasn't working, so I'm still going to use the arm that came with the kit. Excuse me, but I am going to use this arm just to give him a slightly different look for his run. And I don't have a head that I chose for this right now. And I'm not quite sure what chapter I want to go with. Something tells me we should save that for the channel and do Marines Malevolent. You think we should do Marines Malevolent? Because that sounds like a very exciting thing to do. I've done 2 of them. I did 1 Marine and I did a Scout. Alright. Microsol right there. Whoop. Let's get our bird. Like I said, it's not the exact bird. What is Drushi? A falcon? And see, that bird is a little big for the plate. It's a little bit big. But I think we'll be alright. I hope we'll be alright. I think we'll be alright. And when in doubt, we can always reach over here and second guess ourselves in a too late fashion because everything's already down on there. And we can dig out this and look at the other birds. And those birds are about the same size, but they're a little thinner. They probably would have worked a little bit better. And I want to say that it might be too late for us to get this boy off of there. Nope, it's not. Not too late. Look at that. We're going to last minute switch it up. This is from our Imperialis. I don't suggest people do last minute things like this. But, you know, I like the nature of this eagle, bird, whatever the hell it is. I mean, it's a raven. But I don't care. You can pass it off as something else. Most people are a little too ignorant to bird physiology. They're a little too ignorant to all that stuff to even really tell what the difference is. I can't remember if they used an eagle. the Germans, or if they use a Falcon. I really can't remember. I wouldn't be surprised either way. I might even be thinking of the wrong era, the complete wrong era. Because if I'm thinking of Nazi Germany, my bad. But I know that the Germans still have their eagle. Actually, I've seen their the hockey jerseys in the Olympics. There's some damn nice jerseys. I like that. And I want to say it is an eagle. Damn, this is still not wet enough to be raising. Get a water droplet on there, let that bubble, and let it sit. I can't believe we just did that, but like I said, I'm going with my gut instinct here. As much as I liked this, it's not. It's just fine, but it's thick. It was very wide, and this one, the feathers, the feather lines are real thin and slender. For some of the Prussian and even Holy Roman Empire things that I have, the eagle is a little more slender. I keep wanting to call it a falcon, man. All right, there we go. Let's get this bad boy on there, and yeah, it's just a scotch big, just like the original, but that does look better in my opinion. That does look a lot better. It's just a little more clean. And I think that works for us. I think that works a lot better. If I'm wrong, that's fine. I can be wrong. You guys have heard me say that plenty of times. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's whatever. mm. Mm-mm-mm. Dying here. I keep trying to convince myself not to go get that that card game. I'm like, don't do it. You don't need it. You don't need it. That's why you didn't get it yesterday. You don't need it. No one's gonna play. I know none of my friends, when it comes to like Magic, none of them are gonna play. And I know my wife can play, and she will happily learn a new game with me, especially if I got it, and I'm very excited for it. She'll happily learn. No one's gonna play that shit. I know it. I know it. All right, so we're getting our Reichland Flesh shade out. It's time. It's time. All we got to do is avoid that. All right. And don't be shy. Just kind of slap it on there. Slap it on there. You need it to pull into all of the recesses that you want it to pull into. And it's going to make things look very oily. And that is okay. That is okay for now, because like I said, when it dries, everything's going to have like a glossy sheen to it. And all you got to do is dry brush right over that. And that will pick up everything else that you want it to do. It'll lighten things back up. It'll get rid of that sheen because it puts a little dust on it. And I want to get some and be very light with it because Trench Crusade has a very brown atmosphere to the whole thing. So we are going to just hit all the metal with our Reichland Flesh shade. It's going to give it a brown tone. And I think that'll probably work well with the whole Trench Crusade theme, because nothing I have seen is ever clean. Everything is quite dirty. You know, because it's World War I based. And if World War I was known for anything, I would say it's definitely known for mud. This is where I think if you had a rust effect, you could really get rust into the crevices of things if you really, really want to. This is where I don't want to do it, but we're going to have to for consistency's sake, but we're going to have to hit the jacket. I don't like that because it's so vibrant and I don't want to ruin it. But you're not ruining it. You're not ruining anything. You're adding to it, adding to the effect, adding to the overall feeling of it. No matter how much you might not want it, it does add. And it will bring the piece together in a very cohesive way. I forgot about the straps on the hilt, but that's okay because this actually kind of worked for it. A little bit off. There we go. Because I know when it comes to war, you don't want to go into battle with things that are just too dirty or rusted, because that doesn't help anybody. But it's okay. We've got it. We've got it. And I think that Reichland shade is going to help us very much here. It just darkened everything up, gave us a nice brown tone to it. And all we got to do is, like I said, you got to go back, you got to dry brush things. So we are probably going to dry brush with this Krieg khaki over the base. And that's all I'm going to hit for it. The rest of the stuff, I'm not sure what I will dry brush with yet. I might dry brush the coat with some demonic yellow, maybe some moon dust to really pick up the edges. We'll see. We'll see. But we're going to have to let this dry for a bit. So, what? We're at 42 minutes? 43 minutes? Yeah. We'll pause here, see what we got going on, and we'll be back to see just how this worked for us. All right. All right. Welcome back, everybody. This thing has dried pretty well. So we are going to get out our dry brushes, and you know what, we're going to go with this 5 gauge, not the 3. 3 doesn't work well for me, so we're going to go with the 5. And like I said, we are going to go with the Krieg khaki. And we're going to jump right in with it. So we'll get ample amount onto your brush. All right. Now it's a little glossy, but not really. It's kind of like a satin in a way. But yeah, this is where you, like I said, dry brush. You can be a little liberal with it if you want. It really depends on how much you want to brighten the base right back up. Now you got to be careful, of course, because if you attack it when it's still a little wet, things will smear. They'll blend, and then you're just going to be left with like an oh shit moment. I'm going to get a little bit more because we are going to Yeah, hit that holster just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Hit the back of the leg just a little. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. I don't want to do too much. But, like I said, there you go. There you go. And as I said, dude, it's really just that simple. Look at that. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That's all it took. And anything else that you add is really your discretion. If you want to pick up certain spots, if you want to add another color in there, let's see, like if you were to go with another friggin' color, you could add some moon dust. It's gonna make things just a little bit brighter. But you got to be careful with adding a yellow into that. I mean, I know with the tan and the khaki, it technically it should work and you should be fine. Again, you still want to be very careful with that kind of stuff. Um, like the jacket. I feel like this would pick up too much. And I have been looking at it and I don't think I want to touch the jacket. Honestly, the rest of the model I just kind of want to leave alone because he turned out to be just fine. But yeah, the rest of the base is just a little dusty, a little dirty. So what we're gonna do is get out our 1 gauge and we'll get out some Black Legion contrast paint. Yeah. And we'll touch up the base, give it a nice black coat all the way around, and things will be fine. But I do want to thank you guys for checking in here. I'm going to have to recreate the the thumbnail for this video, I believe. Hopefully something like this can stay, where we could just do 1 episode or maybe 2. Just to give you guys some shorter series. Maybe it'll give me a chance to paint even more for the channel. Like I said, we're trying new things. I mean, we got a new intro, we got a new outro. We're gonna be trying new things with this season. If you guys have any suggestions as far as models or whatnot, or hell, even the format that we're filming, by all means, drop me a line in the comments. And we'll take it from there. But until then, again, thank you guys very much. I have been your host, Trooper 6, and I will see you guys on the next round. Maybe it'll be that Blood Bowl. Maybe it'll be something else. Possibly even something from Final Fantasy. I'm not sure yet. I want to take this kind of as a step-by-step and a surprises to myself, just to kind of keep things flowing in interesting ways. So until then, I will see you guys on the next round, all right? May the Void Father guide your brush. Peace.